Welcome in, everybody. I'm Ethan Halsey, and I'm joined today by 2017 Millersville alum, current Houston Astros, and we've got to say it, World Series champion,
Mm.
Chas McCormick. So, Chas, has it set in that World Series champion, and at what point did it really become a reality for you?
Yeah, I don't think it's settled in yet. I mean, it's been a week since I've been home. Um, and I kind of remember even just, celebrating on the field that day. It just felt like the end of the season. And I woke up the next morning, and that's when I was kind of like, all right, like I should feel this. I should have this feeling right now. And it still just felt like the end of the season. And we had the parade, which was a blast, way better than I thought it was going to be. And then the next day after the parade, I was like, okay, I'm going to feel it this morning. And I didn't just felt like another end of the season, goodbye. But I think maybe even since I've been moving into my new apartment here, it's felt like I think I'm just starting to feel it now, which I'm like, thank God. But it feels good to for the stressfulness and the craziness to be over, obviously. And yeah, I think it's starting to hit right now.
So, you're going to need some time of decompression, I guess, after all of that, right?
Yeah. No, it was just playing in Philadelphia for the first time in the World Series. There's a lot going on, and even my parents, I remember them telling me like after we won the World Series, we're sitting down having dinner, and they're like, "Thank God it's over." And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's a lot for you guys.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that. But first, just for you and the Astros, having been so close in recent years, obviously you were on the roster last year
Yeah.
in the World Series, but didn't get a chance to play. Dusty, your manager, has been close many, many times. So, what was special for you this year in winning the World Series?
Yeah, like you said, we've been so close, losing in 2019 and losing in 2021, and having that one World Series title in 17. I could just tell a lot of the guys really wanted it bad this year. We really wanted it for the city of Houston, and I'm glad we won it for Houston. And what was special, I would say, this year, a lot of ups and downs. But I think the big part of, kind of myself turning it around a little bit, I think I was comfortable in the beginning of the season, just, on and off playing. And I knew we had another center fielder coming up from rehab. And then, in the middle of the year, I think it was late June, that's when I got optioned for only 8 hours because Michael Brantley got hurt that day. And I think that was kind of I think that's what I needed. I needed to get an option. I needed a little wake up call. And I started to play way better after they gave me that, so on that second chance, since Brantley had to get put on the IL and ended up being out for the rest of the season. But, obviously getting option is not special, but I think that was, some players need some adversity, and I think that was good for myself. Just a little wake up call and then, being able to play and contribute throughout the second half of the season, and then kind of finding that starter role in center field. And then obviously, ended up winning the World Series.
Yeah, I mean, that was a crazy year for you, going from that option you mentioned, and then really becoming one of the heroes of the playoffs for the Astros, hitting the home run in New York, and then obviously the World Series that you had. What lessons did you learn from going through this year, the ups and the downs?
Yeah. You got to stay even keel. You got to stay in the middle as much as possible. I mean, it's hard for us young athletes playing the big leagues, playing the World Series. There's so many ups and downs, as you're achieving, as you're playing well, and then even team wise when you're playing well and not playing that well, as a team and personally. So there's a lot of ups and downs, obviously. But you just got to stay focused, prepared, and if you keep working hard, things will happen. Obviously, it doesn't just go overnight. You have to work hard constantly, day in, day out, and things will pay off. And you have to stay focused and be prepared. And and you don't want to ever let up, because baseball, a full year of baseball, especially in the big leagues, so many things can happen throughout the season, so many things. So especially being on one of the best teams in the world, a lot can change and a lot can happen. And that's why you kind of have to stay in the middle the whole time, because there's going to be waves up and down, up and down. But that's what I kind of learned in the playoffs, when I started, just because I enjoyed playing playoff baseball. I enjoyed all the pressure and all the craziness, and as long as you can hold that middle ground, then you'll be okay.
How hard was it for you to hold that middle ground and stay even keel, especially that first time that you come back to Philadelphia? It was well documented throughout on the TV broadcast and everything that, oh, here's the hometown kid, grew up here, Phillies fan, all this stuff, right? And I know that you had lots of family and friends in the crowd. You were probably hearing it from some of your old teammates. So what was that like, just stepping out on that field for the first time and trying to stay even keel?
Yeah, it was obviously tough, being 27 in that position. It was tough, but you just kind of look at the other players that have been in the ALCS for 6 years in a row, the veterans that have been in the World Series a couple of times. You see how they act, and it's very calm, cool, collective, and that's kind of how you have to act. Obviously I was playing in Philadelphia the first time in the World Series, so my emotions were even higher. It was a lot for my family, it was a lot for my girlfriend. It was really tough to stay in the middle ground, but again, I was really looking forward to playing in Citizens Bank Park. So I was super excited. I remember warming up Game 3, first time playing Philly, warming up and seeing the red October and the fans going crazy. And I was like, this is it. But, it's kind of just another game for me. Obviously, I try to think it as, hey, it's just another game. It's a World Series in Philadelphia, but it's just another game. You've been playing the big leagues for a couple of years. There's nothing changed. Just keep playing your game. But obviously, there's a lot of mixed feelings, a lot of mixed emotions. With friends, family, but again, I was like, I'm gonna enjoy every second of this. I have to, because the last time Phillies and Astros played in the World Series against each other was 40 years ago. So this could never happen again. That's kind of what was going through my head.
Mm-hmm. I know some of the guys that you played with if you're at Millersville, and I'm sure you're still in contact with those guys. A lot of those guys are probably Philly fans. I got to know what they were talking to you about during the series and after the series and leading up to it, all that. I mean, what did you get from them?
Oh man. I got a couple of good lucks. I got a couple of, hey, you're headed into the jungle. Good luck. And I was like, yeah, I know that place is going to be crazy. But yeah, it was a mix of good lucks and a mix of, hey, good luck, but we hope the Phillies win. Like, we hope you do well, but we hope the Phillies win. So, and then, obviously before the series, it wasn't bad, but then after I made that catch, kind of turned the series around, that's when it was kind of like, wow, like, why didn't he drop that? Obviously some guys were like, great catch, all for it. But some people were a little upset.
Yeah, I do want to talk about that catch, because that's going to be a catch, and it's probably hard for you to realize this at the time, but you think about the great moments in World Series history, like Joe Carter hitting the home run, or Bill Mazeroski home run, or whatever it might be. These moments that are replayed over and over and over again throughout history. Your catch is going to be on highlight reels forever.
Yeah.
You've made big catches before. Obviously, I saw you make tons of them in Millersville.
Yeah.
You made Sports Center highlight reels in the minor leagues, flipping over the fence and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
But after this game, when I saw the clips of you on the field after the game, and it just looked like you were soaking up the moment.
Yep.
Drinking. What was going through your mind at that time?
There wasn't much going through my mind. But yeah, that's exactly what I try to do. I mean, after the game, after the catch, they kind of had me stay on the field a little bit for a couple interviews. And when I'm standing there, I mean, I'm seeing there's no fans in the stands. I just see a couple Astro fans, rooting me on, saying, good job, good job. My family comes down the stands. So it's all kind of hit me all at once, and it's a full circle. And obviously, my 12-year-old self would be upset with me making that catch. But yeah, it was tough to soak it. I was just trying to soak it all in, like you said. but again, I make those, I make those catches a lot. I mean, most of the time I am making that catch. Obviously I don't think it was one of my hardest catches, but it was a big catch at the time, obviously. So that's why I loved every second of it. I loved how quiet the stadium was, because that place was rocking for the past 3 days. So there's no better feeling sitting on that field after and seeing an empty stadium and, kind of loss of words from the fans. But I love how I did it in my hometown stadium. And yeah, I was trying to soak every second of it. And
yeah, there's that famous photo now that somebody took. It was the imprint of your jersey in the warning track. Any chance you're going to get a copy of that, blow it up, put it on your wall?
Yeah, my dad's actually trying to get the copyrights of it. But we've kind of been in a thing to, to get things or signed autograph things and send it to charity. So if we get an imprint of it, maybe I can sign some of those things and then send it to charity, whatever money goes towards it. But yeah, I'm hoping at the end of the day, I get it framed and put in my man cave, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Any plans for what you're going to do with your World Series ring?
My World Series ring.
Yeah. Any plans for it? I mean, once you get it, I know it's going to take a little while to get it, but what are you going to do with it once you get it?
I know. I wish it didn't take so long for us to get it, but I don't know. I'm going to look at it for about an hour. And just see how nice it is. Probably compare it with my LCS ring from last year. And I'm going to wear it a lot. But I mean, really, I put those things in the safe I have. So, we will see.
Yeah. Kind of changing gears here a little bit. Going back to 2017, you graduate from Millersville and you're drafted in the 21st round.
Yeah.
Today, we don't have 21 rounds anymore.
Yeah.
There's fewer minor league teams, fewer opportunities for guys like you. But in the same token, we just saw 4 PSAC alums playing in the postseason at a high level.
Yeah.
So what advice do you have to D2 guys at Millersville, guys in the PSAC, who are in the position now that you were at Millersville at the time?
Yeah, I mean, I just think the sport we play, there's a lot of opportunities. It kind of doesn't matter where you go, where you play, even how big you are, how strong you are. Obviously that helps. But I just think with the sport we play, you have so many things can happen, and it doesn't matter, what your swing looks like, how it looks like when you throw, how it looks like when you run. I think so many guys try to be so perfect, and try to have that perfect swag with them during playing the game. But, you got to play like yourself. You can't change anything at that point in college, especially when you're playing Division II. You got to play like yourself, and however it got you towards college baseball, you got to keep going with what you've been doing. Because that's what I did. I never changed a thing. I kept myself, even when I played in minor leagues and in the big leagues. I'm still the same guy. I haven't changed much. I guess the focus and preparation is kind of like the number one key thing as you move up, but obviously, you have time to figure that out. So in college, there's nothing, with those guys playing Division II, Division III, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter how far you think you need to go to get to the big leagues. It's kind of like staying like yourself and being loose and enjoying it, enjoying every second. Because so many things can happen, so many opportunities can come your way. So, you just got to kind of wait your turn.
Yeah. The Astros have become an outstanding franchise, just always there, always in the mix, winning every year.
Yep.
Very similar to what we see from Millersville baseball, right? Always in the mix.
Exactly.
You were in the playoffs all 4 years at Millersville in the NCAA tournament. That stretch has continued on. What similarities do you see between the Astros and Millersville baseball? Success.
No, it's a good question. It's just good programs. They both have good, obviously, Houston's an organization, so Astros good organization, and Millersville is a good program. It has the winning culture. when I left Millersville and I got in the Astros organization, it felt very similar. Just with the coaches we had and the dedication they're willing to help the players out and willing, every single day to get you guys better. That's what Sheen was kind of always about. It was every single day, how can we get you guys better anyway, like on or off the field. It is the same with, in the Astros organization. Those coaches don't give up, and they try to tweak anything. They try to make anything that can help us become big leaguers. And they kind of do whatever they want. They do their homework. And I just think it's the winning culture that they have on both sides. And even the athletes they bring in. I mean, it's very similar with how Sheen would bring in his athletes. It's a very Astros kind of go with talented and athletic and competitive players to come on in and see where it kind of fits. That's kind of how I thought Sheen recruited some guys in. Just, hey, we're going to draft you based off your athleticism, your competitiveness, and see how you go. And that was very similar with those two.
Yeah. Last question. What's something that you learned in your 4 years at Millersville that you still take with you as a professional baseball player?
I always like how Sheen, used to say, fake it till you make it. Because there's so many times where, everyone's a human being and you're not having the best day or you're not feeling that good, whatever it is. You can go a long way, on the field playing the game or even off the field, even if you're not feeling 100%, you can kind of fake it and be like, yeah, I'm fine. And eventually, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So it comes, eventually you start to feel fine. And then, and maybe when you put a fake smile on and feel all right, say you're all right, it comes a long way, and you can get out of that little hole even faster because you're kind of just bringing up some positiveness in your head and some confidence. And yeah, I think I really like that, because there's times, when you're playing big leagues and minor leagues, you don't feel good that good that day, and you end up having a great day. So I think I kind of like to go off that.
Hi, man. Well, I appreciate you jumping on here and joining me for a little while, answering some questions, and enjoy the off season.
Yeah, thank you. Good talking to you.